Hello, everyone, and welcome back to This Week in Solar, your weekly roundup of the biggest stories in solar energy in 5 minutes or less. I'm Aaron Nichols, the research and policy specialist here at Exact Solar, and we passed 100 subscribers on Substack this week, so thank you to everyone who joined. We're very excited to have you here. Make sure to watch to the end if your company operates in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. We're covering some recent state policy updates in both states. Our big federal story this week is the 5 senators who seem to be supporting clean energy as the Senate writes their version of the One Big Beautiful Bill. The 5 senators are Thom Tillis, Lisa Murkowski, Jerry Moran, Susan Collins, and John Curtis. Now, as we know, 21 House Republicans also voiced support for the clean energy credits, but when it came down to it, they did not vote to protect them. Hopefully, these 5 senators are more true to their word. Here's what they're saying. Senator Thom Tillis of North Carolina told the Washington Post, an immediate phase-out would have a chilling effect on future investments in the domestic energy sector. Senator Lisa Murkowski said this on the Senate floor earlier this year. Energy makes us stronger, makes us less vulnerable, and it is an asset, not a liability, and we need to treat it as such. We need to be unleashing our resources, including all of our renewables, because that's all part of the energy basket as well. Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas told KSHB 41 News, I will support policies, including tax credits that will benefit energy producers in Kansas. We need more investments in energy production, and tax credits are one way to bring production to the U.S. Promote our energy independence, support manufacturing jobs, and further investments in domestic energy. A spokesperson for Senator Susan Collins of Maine said, Senator Collins supports clean energy, and this issue is one of many the Senate is going to have to consider as it puts together its reconciliation bill. The most detailed statement of all came from Senator John Curtis of Utah. In an op-ed for the Deseret News on June 4th, he called for careful consideration as the Senate writes its version. He said, we simply cannot afford to treat good policy ideas as guilty by political association. That would be a quest for political power over intelligence and strategy. We must build a thoughtful, principled bill that doesn't pull the rug out from under American innovators. Doing otherwise risks freezing investment, delaying domestic production, increasing costs, and forfeiting our energy edge and national security to China and Russia. Curtis also emphasized energy security, saying, the U.S. must never depend on adversaries for our energy. We shouldn't just be energy independent, we should be energy dominant. What will truly unleash energy production isn't a new spending or deduction line. It's liberating American ingenuity from the shackles of Washington bureaucracy and unnecessary regulation. Doing otherwise risks freezing investment, delaying domestic production, increasing costs, and forfeiting our energy edge and national security to China and Russia. Now to New Jersey, where a new bill could allow 4 large transmission-connected projects to claim 1,000 out of 1,500 megawatts of planned storage incentives. Behind-the-meter storage can be deployed much faster than transmission-scale projects. New Jersey's grid needs storage fast, so behind-the-meter installers must be incentivized as well as larger companies. The Mid-Atlantic Solar and Storage Industries Association, or MSIA, is asking companies that install behind-the-meter projects in New Jersey to provide data on their past and current battery projects. They'll share this data with the state legislature to show the speed of deployment of behind-the-meter storage versus transmission-scale projects. Companies interested in submitting battery data can find the phone number and contact for MSIA in today's email. Now to Pennsylvania, where Solar for All funding is still trapped in legislative limbo. Pennsylvania has already been awarded $156 million through the federal Solar for All program to help 14,000 low-income households go solar, but the money is stuck. The state legislature added a clause to last year's budget requiring separate approval before the money can be used. A new bill, House Bill 362, would have fixed that, but it was amended with language that threatens Pennsylvania's net metering policy if passed, and now can't be used for approval without removing net metering. To be clear, this money is money already awarded to Pennsylvanians. There don't need to be any tax hikes to pay for these projects. Pennsylvania lawmakers must remove this amendment and pass the bill or another similar piece of legislation by September. If they don't, the state could lose these funds that are intended to cut electric bills and create clean energy jobs in rural and low-income areas, as the Trump administration tries to claw back funding. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning into This Week in Solar. I'm Aaron Nichols. If you are watching on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe. And as always, links to all of the resources that we leaned on to create this content are in the email below. See you next week.